بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قال آمنتم له قبل أن آذن لكم إنه لكبيركم الذي علمكم السحر فلسوف تعلمون لأقطعن أيديكم وأرجلكم من خلاف ولأصلبنكم أجمعين.
Pharaoh said, "You believed Moses before I gave you permission? Indeed, he is your leader who taught you magic. But you are going to know. I will surely cut off your hands and your feet in opposite sides, and I will surely crucify you all." The other day, I was watching the news. A reporter had caught the politician in a lie. After stating in an interview they would not be enacting a policy, a video surfaced where the politician said the exact opposite. In the face of embarrassment, rather than acknowledging the mistake, the spin doctor got to work. "You haven't presented the whole story. What I actually meant was, have you not seen our success in..." It's easy for us to watch and laugh at how ridiculous any defense could be in the face of such clear evidence. How could anything explain a video which categorically stated the opposite of what was said? Surely it's black and white. Sadly, such behavior isn't new. When confronted with the truth of Prophet Musa alayhi salam's claim, Pharaoh challenged him. He called upon the greatest magicians across the land to disprove Musa alayhi salam's claim, promising immense reward and power to anyone who did. On the appointed day, the magicians came and presented their trickery before an enormous crowd. Each of them threw their sticks, which sprung to life, slithering as though they were real. The illusion perturbed both the audience and Prophet Musa alayhi salam. Such was the power of their deception. Reassured by his Lord, Prophet Musa alayhi salam threw his staff. Unlike their illusions, his magic was a true miracle, transforming into a real snake by the will of God. Before everyone's eyes, Prophet Musa alayhi salam's snake ate each of the snakes of the other magicians. At this point, an uneducated person may still make excuses. Yes, Prophet Musa alayhi salam's snake ate those of the magicians. But didn't the magicians still make their snakes come to life? Wasn't that still magic? You can imagine how the spin doctors were already writing the script. However, what happened next could never have been foreseen. The magicians conceded defeat and bowed in unison in submission to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Every single one of them not only admitted their magic was an illusion, they submitted in belief to the existence of one God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The very people brought to refute Prophet Musa alayhi salam's message had proven him right. The game was up. Checkmate. Except it wasn't. Pharaoh doubled down in his denial.
قال آمنتم له قبل أن آذن لكم إنه لكبيركم الذي علمكم السحر فلسوف تعلمون.
Pharaoh said, "You believed Moses before I gave you permission? Musa is your grand master. He taught you magic. This was a ploy to trick me." In the face of undeniable truth, when the evidence stared him in the face, when his own arguments turned against him, Pharaoh would always find an excuse. Whether it's the politicians today or the Pharaoh of Musa, it's easy for us to wonder, how could anyone be so stubborn in the face of such truth? But leaders are often the reflection of their people, and it's important to ask, how many of us have this same Pharaoh within? How often have we argued with our spouse or sibling over something we knew we were mistaken in? How many times have we denied something we have seen to be true because our desires couldn't give up something we liked? How many excuses have we made for things we knew were inexcusable simply because it was inconvenient? From climate change to meat consumption, family arguments to school homework, there are countless examples of situations where we choose to bury our heads in the sand, just like Pharaoh, unwilling to acknowledge the truth we see before us. Rather than face the discomfort of change or acknowledge our mistake, we double down on what we know to be wrong. The story of Prophet Musa a.s. and Pharaoh is one we live through in ourselves every day. The question is, do we double down in our denial or repent to the truth? Will the Pharaoh within prevail, or will the prophetic guidance shine through instead? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. This is Talha again from the Quran Club. This situation or story is one that I see happening time and time again in my life and the lives of those around me. The Pharaoh within, that ability to deny the truth because of the consequences that truth brings, is a situation you see with climate change deniers when they see forest fires burning up their trees. It's one you see in schools when children deny not having done homework because they're worried about getting a detention. It's one where couples are so stubborn in their own opinion and refuse to acknowledge their spouse's point of view because the consequences of that would mean changing what they need to do. The Pharaoh within is something that happens to all of us, and it's better to acknowledge that and let the prophetic guidance shine through to change us. Make a list of some truths that you know you need to acknowledge, and over time pray that Allah helps you overcome those struggles, because it's better to acknowledge and struggle than to deny them completely. Share this with family and friends. Inshallah, I'll see you at the next podcast. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.